Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence and today I'm going to show you how to make Shrove pancakes. If you've never heard of them before, you are in for a treat, I promise you that. In the meantime though, sit back, relax with a cup of tea in hand and enjoy this episode. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Shrove Tuesday or Pancake Day is the day that traditionally involved the consumption of all fats, eggs, dairy and sugar, food items that were historically considered as rich ingredients before beginning a 40-day Lent fast of abstinence and self-reflection. The norm for us Brits involves a deluge of sweet pancakes eaten in excess dating back to the 16th century. And so, in keeping with tradition, we'll be featuring our appropriately named creation, Shrove pancakes. Rich, hearty pancake rolls covered in a decadent blue cheese sauce, which I assure you will be an amazing savoury alternative. So, with all that being said, allow me to introduce the ingredients to you. For today's Brilliantly British Shrove pancakes, you will need some celery, some carrots, some onions, some mushrooms, some plain flour, full fat milk, dried currants, walnuts, port, garlic, butter, preferably homemade butter. Follow the link that appears on the screen now to learn how to make your own butter at home. And you will need a good blue cheese. I'm recommending, of course, British Stilton. If you can't get hold of it, use another blue cheese that's available to you or a really strong, mature cheddar. That's it for the making of these Shrove pancakes. But what you need to do just before you get started is switch on your kettle to brew yourself a nice cup of hot tea so that you can sip on that whilst you cook. After a sip of tea, I'll sift some flour into a bowl, followed by the addition of my eggs. I'll then gradually start mixing the two ingredients together before gradually trickling in my milk, without allowing things to get too out of control. As more milk is added, the batter will begin to thin, with the result being this beautiful batter. To my batter, I'll then add some pepper and some salt, followed by a short but vigorous whisk. Perfect. Finally, cover the batter and set it to one side to rest for later on. Now's the time to turn this into this. If you've ever made a Wellington before, you'll be familiar with making a duxelle, because this is very similar, albeit easier too, if you have a food processor, as the manual way I can't bear to think about. This particular step involves loading your machine, starting on a low speed, whilst drizzling in roughly 2 tablespoons of oil. Once evenly chopped, transfer to a large saute pan and then repeat, making sure that the mushrooms are evenly chopped. In no time at all, you'll have processed all of the mushrooms, but don't forget to stay hydrated, as we both know it's hard work getting a machine to do all the monotonous chopping for you. The contents of your pan, when done, should resemble this, emitting too a wonderfully earthy, woody aroma. Now you'll remember me saying that you ought to be using a large saute pan. Well, to your pan, add your chopped onions, celery and carrots before learning from my mistake by making sure that your cookware is induction hob compatible. Anyway, on the hob, I'll begin to fry over a high heat whilst covered, whilst thinking about what to do next. And now would be a good time to begin preheating your oven. After finding my bearings by playing an imaginary drum, I'll line 2 baking sheets, first with foil, I'll then sip on some tea, and then I'll line them with some baking paper. With the sheets lined, recoil your batter, dividing the batter equally between the 2 lined sheets, making sure that the batter is evenly distributed within them. With the oven hot and ready, slide your trays in to cook, which you'll be pleased to know doesn't take long at all. Once cooked, the pancakes should be quickly taken out, stacked and covered in order to prevent them from drying. I'll then place those to one side and show you what's coming next. Whilst cooking the pancakes, I did from time to time stir the contents of the pan, As you can see, the contents are now quite dry, and so at this stage I'll add in some finely chopped garlic and port without wasting the amazing aromas being emitted. The intention now is to dry the contents once again over a high heat, which will concentrate and develop complex flavours. So keep an eye on it to prevent it from burning. When the tiniest amount of moisture is still left in the pan, toss in your dried currants and then cook for a further 5 minutes. After 5 minutes of cooking, throw in a knob of butter followed by some salt and pepper, then finally stir in some chopped walnuts. Then switch off the hob, cover, and then leave it be for a few minutes. Now for the fun part. I've gone ahead and uncovered my pancakes, and after more tea we'll begin applying my mushroom vegetable reduction, specifically laying a third of the mixture along the width of the pan. With the mixture spread widthways upon the pancake, delicately begin to roll, squeeze, and press until the contents are securely sealed within. Once sealed, carefully cut through the pancake before attending to both ends if the filling has escaped. I'll then lay the roll on another foil and paper lined tray before dividing, and repeating the process until everything has been used up, leaving you with this stunning looking tray, which for now can be covered and placed to one side for later on. To make our Stilton sauce in an induction compatible pan this time around, I'll gently melt some butter, which should give you and me enough time to surf through the Brilliantly British channel, enjoying our fantastic content, remembering to like and subscribe. Anyway, with the butter melted, I'll then gradually incorporate my flour bit by bit, followed by the gradual addition of milk, over a low heat at first. Still over a low heat, with all the milk added, I'll then add the star of this sauce, the blue Stilton cheese, whisking constantly thereafter in order to evenly mix the ingredients. As the sauce heats up, lumps of cheese and flour should dissolve in time to form this luscious blue cheese delight. Perfect. Before we get carried away, I'd suggest switching on your grill for the coming step. Around half of this sauce should then be ladled onto your rolls, making sure to cover them as thoroughly as possible. After having doused them in liquid blue cheese, place them under the grill, allowing for the development of a beautiful crust. Now, whilst the rolls grill away, add a touch more milk to the residual sauce in your pan over a medium heat. After all, you didn't think we were going to waste this sauce, did you? This will be the lubricating sauce that you'll be enjoying the rolls with in the not too distant future. Feel free to add more cheese and seasoning as well if you like. I know I did. I left the sauce on a low heat whilst I attended to the oven, and well, the result was this tray of delight. Admittedly, I could have allowed them to become a bit darker, but it's fine. Wasting no time, whilst they're still hot, I'll begin to plate up before drizzling on our liquid blue cheese, which as you can see has this amazing blue-green hue to it. Now, with all that done, did somebody say, tasting, tasting, tasting? Are you ready? Are you steady for these Shrove pancakes? Yes? Well, 3, 2, 1. Wow. Wow. Talk to me. Talk to me. Okay. Oh, right. The blue cheese sauce is phenomenal. Outstanding. It's amazing the way it's actually blue. It's got a slight blue tinge. Obviously that's because of the cheese itself. And then you've got the flavor coming from it. It's not too strong, not too overpowering. It's creamy, rich, and you've got that, I like to describe it as like a funk. You know, that particular taste that blue cheeses have? Stilton most definitely has it. I mean, it's a world famous cheese. Oh, and then that cheese in combination with the earthiness of the mushrooms the fruitiness of the currants, and then you've got the texture coming through with the walnuts. It's amazing. And don't even get me started on the depth that the port adds to this. This is amazing. This is Pancakes taken to the highest of heights. Really, really, guys, you have to try this dish, please. Thank you all for allowing me to show you how to make Shrove pancakes. Knowing that you liked this episode, don't forget to click the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button so that you don't miss any of our new releases. Tell everyone you know about the Brilliantly British food on this channel, and I will see you next time. Mm.